Hello everybody, and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, you thought I was playing the game? Huh, no, I'm reviewing the film. The one that has the fandom torn apart more than Afton's ribcage. This is going to be a spoiler review of my thoughts on the film. If you haven't seen it yet and don't want it spoiled, my overall score is 6 out of 10. Anyway, as a fan of FNAF since... when did Mark upload his first video?
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and
2014? Then that means I must have been 12. Damn. I wanted to wait for the hype and haters to calm down before making this video, that way I can say my own opinion. I understand that the film isn't based on the game's lore, but can we be real for a minute and actually ask ourselves, did Scott confirm any of the theories that either MatPat or us as the community come up with? So can we really be upset with the fact that Scott, who originally came up with the story, is doing what he wants with the story? On to the review. I enjoyed this film, considering how long I've been a fan, and how much I love the game's lore, and listening to 8-hour-long lore explanation videos. Thanks, GiBi. I enjoyed how different the film was to its predecessor. The sets are impressive, they feel so lived in, and do give the vibe of abandoned but still operating. The office looks a lot more like Five Nights at Freddy's 3, with the vent on the right and the only one door instead of two. But maybe that's setting up for the third film with Fazbear Frights. The acting isn't top tier. The best ones are Josh Hutcherson as Mike and Matthew Lillard as William Afton. The kids, we can subvert our expectations, but they are so adorable and really good at being creepy. Vanessa's actor is not that great. Don't get me wrong, Elizabeth Lale does really well with what's given to her, but her dialogue is not the best. The part where her and Mike are watching the animatronics perform, and she just out of nowhere asks if he wants to dance, was weird. As well as dumping information on Mike and just ignoring him or diverting the conversation. It feels like Vanessa was there to just explain the backstory of the pizzeria to Mike and the audience. But besides that, she's a really likable character and will hopefully be okay in the next film. Mike's obsession with dream theory made me crack up laughing in the cinema. I feel like it was a jab at us for thinking that FNAF 4 was the crying child dreaming of FNAF 1. But I feel like his obsession was too much. Like, after Vanessa told him to stop sleeping because of the break-in, and told him to stay alert at Freddy's, what does he do that next night? He fucking sleeps! Which conveniently moves the story forward because Abby has to interact with the spirits inside the animatronics somehow. The story is not the best, I must admit. There are so many conveniences to make the plot move forward, like Mike not listening to Vanessa so Abby can meet the animatronics and have Mike get closer to the truth of finding out what happened to the pizzeria to have Afton show up and try to kill Mike. Overall, I did enjoy this film despite its flaws and community's harshness towards it. I loved every scene with the animatronics, especially with Bonnie and Foxy. Bonnie looks so cuddly and cute in every scene he's in, and Foxy amazes me by being the only real animatronic on set. The film had good jump scares with Balloon Boy. He made me jump every time. I am not a Saw fan, so watching the night guard at the start with the stooping mask and Mike struggling to leave the chair really scared me to the point I couldn't watch. I had to cover my eyes. The break-in scenes are probably the best in the entire film. If I had to make a little edit, I'd minimize the amount of cuts we get between Max's brother and the animatronics outside the vent. I feel like once we see Cheetah bend down and cut to the brother is when I would just have him freak out and then rush to the vent to stop Carl the Cupcake from entering the office. instead of adding 2 more cuts of the animatronic staring at the camera and the brother just watching until he hears the cupcake in the vents. Overall, this film is good as a standalone Five Nights at Freddy's film that follows its own canon. Look, I'm not afraid to admit this film has flaws. Every film does, but that does not mean we need to globally bash the creator because he was doing what he wanted and it made us all have mixed feelings. The fans' complaints, I feel, were a canon event that we couldn't stop. Everyone saw it coming. TikTok was filled with Megamind clips of the hero walking out the room with a caption that reads something like, POV, me when Freddy says, time to spring the trap once and for all, or something cheesy like that. I knew the fandom wasn't going to be happy. Don't get me started on both the fort scene and the Springlock scene. Might I remind you, hardcore OG fans, that inside the animatronics are children. Let me say that again. Inside the animatronics are children. The fort scene is justifiable. The Springlock scene can be justified with the literal game cutscene. I know that scene was in 8-bit, but that doesn't mean it wasn't the goriest thing in the game series. I've seen 8-bit artwork have insane detail and gore like none other. So you can't make the excuse of, but it was gory in the games, because it wasn't. Not to mention the explanation to why Afton said I always come back faster than in any of the games. I'll put it on screen for you so you can read it carefully and soak it in before trying to argue with me and many others who have come to this conclusion. Also, they're complaining about how easy it was for Mike to take down the animatronics. Do I need to remind you all that we literally see the purple guy dismantle them with a crowbar? If anything, Mike had better weapons, and took them down much easier because they were taser-type weapons, and tasing animatronics that run on electricity was probably the better idea. As I said at the start of the video, I rate this film a 6 out of 10. If you have any questions or recommendations for other films I should review, comment them down below. That's all from me. Thank you for watching.